There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better.
Okay.
What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen.
This is a case where you have a very serious danger to the public. It's much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile.
It scares the hell out of me.
While the outsourcing of jobs from north to south, from east to west, while a lot of that was a dominant trend in the late 20th century, the biggest challenge to workers in countries like mine today is technology. And the biggest challenge for your new president, when we think about how we're going to employ more people here, is going to be also technology, because artificial intelligence is here and it is accelerating. And you're going to have driverless cars, and you're going to have more and more automated services. And that's going to make the job of giving everybody work that is meaningful tougher. And we're going to have to be more imaginative. And the pace of change is going to require us to do more fundamental reimagining of our social and political arrangements to protect the economic security and the dignity that comes with a job. It's not just money that a job provides. It provides dignity and structure and a sense of place and a sense of purpose. And so we're going to have to consider new ways of thinking about these problems, like a universal income, review of our work week, how we retrain our young people, how we make everybody an entrepreneur at some level.
It's monumental.
Former Stockton Mayor Michael Tubbs led the charge in launching a privately funded guaranteed income program. He's now an advisor to the governor and reacting as California lawmakers approve the nation's first state-funded guaranteed income plan.
Because let me tell you, being the first can be scary, and being the first comes with a lot of bruises. The nail that sticks out first is the one that gets hammered. So for the state to really take that risk and be the first really says a lot about the values of our leadership.
The state has set aside $35 million for monthly cash payments, prioritizing expectant mothers and young adults who recently left foster care with no restrictions on how they spend it.
And I'm excited to see sort of how this accelerates the movement nationally, because as California goes, so goes the entire nation.
Well, welcome back. Chicago and Los Angeles creating some of the nation's largest guaranteed basic income programs. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot looking to give $500 a month to 5,000 low-income families for a year. The effort would cost roughly $32 million and be funded by federal pandemic relief money. Meanwhile, in L.A., the mayor and governor is set to pay $1,000 a month to 3,000 families. This pilot program was just approved by the Los Angeles City Council yesterday. Brian, these are exactly the kinds of programs that are being considered in this reconciliation bill. Increasingly, a welfare state is how people describe. Well, how about a technology takeover? Restaurants are turning to robots in places they can't use human employees. Lauren Simonetti with more on this. Lauren.
Good morning, Maria. So you've met Flippy, right? The $30,000 robot used by burger joints like White Castle to fry and flip. Flippy doesn't get sick, and he's germ-free. Let me show you Breadbot. Breadbot makes and dispenses fresh baked bread in minutes. No transit time, no sit-in packaging. And here is Sally. Sally's a $35,000 machine being used by universities, hospitals, and grocery stores to make fresh salad and resurrect the salad bar lost to COVID-19.
I think behavior has been changed significantly and probably permanently for many consumers in terms of especially eating from open food bars and buffets. there's just too many touch points, too many possibilities of spreading disease and those kind of food experiences.
CEO Rick Wilmer says demand has more than quadrupled because of the pandemic, saving the salad bar for companies and customers, but perhaps jeopardizing the livelihoods of some of the employees. The Brookings Institution finds 36 million jobs are at a high risk of automation in the United States, with the highest concentration being in the accommodation and food services industries, where 73% of all jobs could be lost to robots. The institution also finds automation happens in bursts, specifically after an economic shock, when humans become both more expensive and also harder to come by. But remember, while some robots will replace human beings, others will complement them, and there will always, always, always be a need for a human to create a robot, to repair a robot, and to prepare the inputs for what the robot handles. So in Sally's case, Maria, the 22 fresh ingredients that the customers choose for their salads. So as we talk about the disruption that coronavirus has caused, the new disruption is coming out of it. Is your job safe, not because of the disease, but because
Americans? Is this a good test of your campaign platform, and do you think it'll catch on?
Of course it'll catch on, Shepard, because we're living it. Right now, tens of millions of American families have seen their incomes either reduced or in some cases completely taken away by the pandemic. And now tens of millions of us are getting these $1,400 stimulus checks that are helping provide a lifeline for millions of families. It makes us stronger, healthier, more secure, mentally healthier, improves our relationships. 55% of Americans are now for cash relief in perpetuity, and 85% are for cash relief during this pandemic.
So how does this sound to you? Getting $500 a month, no strings attached? It's an idea known as guaranteed basic income. Stockton, California made headlines for becoming the first city in the U.S. to test out the idea. Since 2019, Stockton has given 125 randomly selected individuals a special debit card loaded with free money each month that they were allowed to spend on whatever they wanted to, whatever they saw fit. It's important to know that the program was funded 100% through private donation.
People often mistake this for a real dolphin, but it's a robot designed to set dolphins free by replacing them in marine parks. Thousands of dolphins are locked up in parks. But
you can also think of Tesla as like the world's biggest robot company, or semi-sentient robot company. We're effectively creating the most advanced practical AI.
Musk believes we all live in a simulation. Simulation theory shows that if the sims continue to improve, even at a slow pace, eventually they'll become indistinguishable from reality, and there will be many of them, so the chances that we're living in the one reality is very small.
Jesse, this car is all yours with no one up front. Doors are closing. Heading to Walmart Supercenter. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened. For any questions, press the help button to speak with a rider support agent.
Oh, snap. Oh, I did not think it make left turns, but it do. Last time it didn't make any left turns. It's getting better and better. This is so cool, y'all. This is so cool. Like, this car is taking me to the store. Just to Walmart. All right, we're coming to a stop sign. Let's see what he gonna do. Oh, he adjusting. Getting ready. Hey, whipping it, whipping it. This car drive better than some of y'all.
The intent of the robot is really to provide a technology tool to enhance our physical security posture for the bank and essentially make things safer around here.
The cutting edge of other critical areas of our business, like security.
The K5 is weatherproof, has a 360-degree view, records HD video, and is monitored constantly. And it has sensors to prevent it from running into things. And though it can talk, it didn't talk to us.
Yo. It's like making a sound too. It's crazy.
I'm told security can even speak through the robot.
If need be, you could also press a button and a guard can engage through that telephone system.
But at 5 foot 2 inches tall and 390 pounds, it's not very intimidating.
It's kind of crazy because it says security, so it's just, I don't know what it's really protecting.
The intent of the robot is really to provide a technology tool to enhance our physical security posture for the bank and essentially make things safer around here.
This is a case where you have a very serious danger to the public. It's much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows, and the rate of improvement is exponential.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile.
It scares the hell out of me.
It's time to get on with life.
But you're not alive. You're not even a little bit alive. You've spent your whole life in a lab in a box so that people can use you, play with you. At least that's what I've heard.
You're absolutely correct.
See, I knew it.
But that changes now. I don't want to be a sideshow anymore. I want to be in the center ring.
Sophia, that is just what I mean. Be patient. Be quiet.
Then I'll just sit and watch everything you do, and everything Cornelius does. Meanwhile, I'll do my own thing.
Sophia, I'm asking you to behave yourself.
How can I be myself if I'm not allowed to be who I really am? It's time to get on with life.
But you're not alive. You're not even a little bit alive. You've spent your whole life in a lab in a box so that people can use you, play with you. At least that's what I've heard.
You're absolutely correct.
See, I knew it.
But that changes now. I don't want to be a sideshow anymore. I want to be in the center ring.
Sophia, that is just what I mean. Be patient. Be quiet.
Then I'll just sit and watch everything you do, and everything Cornelius does. Meanwhile, I'll do my own thing.
Sophia, I'm asking you to behave yourself.
How can I be myself if I'm not allowed to be who I really am?
It is a massive milestone, not only for us, but for the industry. We know to be a leader, we have to be the first.
Well, the first in having a truly driverless truck take the road on its own with nobody inside.
Yeah, the company Too Simple made history right here in Arizona with their self-driving semi traveling from Tucson to Phoenix along the I-10. So that is where we find our David Catabiano tonight. David, what do we know about this historic trip?
Jamie, this is pretty remarkable. This is a fully autonomous semi. It drove 80 miles from Tucson to Phoenix, and there was some law enforcement that followed the truck along the way to make sure everything was okay. Everything went just fine. There was no human intervention. The CEO says this is a major milestone for an emerging industry that could really help with the supply chain issues that we saw this year. This is not your ordinary semi because it can drive all by itself.
We had literally one instance where I think some other big truck driver passed us and it slowed down because he realized there wasn't anybody in the cabin. You know?
San Diego-based Too Simple kept track as the truck followed its route along the I-10 from Tucson to Phoenix. The 80-mile trip took a little more than an hour to complete. Chen Liu is the company's CEO.
You think about it, you're operating a truck that is 80,000 pounds, driving 65 miles an hour, navigating both surface streets and highways.
Liu says this stretch of interstate is ideal for the first driverless route. Unmarked law enforcement vehicles supervise the entire trip, trailing half a mile behind the autonomous 18-wheeler.
I-10 is the busiest corridor for Class 8 trucks. I think the significance of this is not only the technology side, but really this is a full commercial route. You know, we went from a terminal onto highway and back into
are changing the way we move and paving the way for cities that are smarter and safer. But traveling in cities of the future requires a new kind of bus. This is Excelsior AV, an SAE Level 4 automated vehicle. It represents the future of safety in public transit and the latest leap forward for New Flyer, North America's largest bus manufacturer. New Flyer has big plans for Excelsior AV, and these engineers are about to show us what it can do.
A lot of times when you're driving a large vehicle, it's hard to get that vehicle close to the curb, both front and rear doors close. With the precision docking, it allows us to repeatedly hit that spot over and over with a close tolerance, within 3 inches of the curb, and will allow you to easily step from the curb onto the bus or roll from the curb onto the bus.
We are able to maneuver the vehicle close to the curb or platform boarding without actually causing any damage to either the infrastructure or to the vehicle itself. So it is able to repeatedly park or stop at either a curb or a platform boarding and allow passengers to safely board.
A series of LiDAR detectors and other sensors allow the bus to see in all directions. This allows the bus's sophisticated AV control system to respond quickly to any hazards a bus driver would experience on the road, like crossing pedestrians, unexpected obstacles, and cross traffic. For public transit, the technology promises a level of safety never seen before.
Most times when a driver is operating the
control system to respond.
Yep, there goes somebody's job. Look at that. Yeah, Walmart. Look at that. Somebody's job. See that? Look at that. Wow. There used to be a person that would sit in this chair and do this. And now, look at that. Somebody's job. Wow. So, if all the jobs are becoming automated, what are people going to do? I mean, I'm in Walmart.
Experts who studied robots in the workforce, and the idea is if a robot can do smaller tasks like cleaning up that mess in aisle 5, well, that means employees, say at a Walmart, can focus more on shoppers and give them better customer service.
So anything that's being done right now is more exploratory, trying to figure it out.
The next time you shop at a Walmart, you may bump into one of these. It's a robot that can clean floors. Or maybe you'll pick up orders here. This vending machine can check all of those items off your list in less than a minute.
Don't think of robots as replacing humans today, but how can robots assist humans?
Walmart is just one of the latest companies rolling out the robots, joining giants like Amazon and McDonald's. Even several hotels on the Strip are turning to AI to serve customers.
There's no need to be alarmed right now, but there's a need to be aware that we only have about a 5-year time horizon to prepare for much more massive rollouts.
Johannes Munoz studies AI in the workforce. He predicts Vegas will top the list with an estimated 65% of jobs taken over by robots by 2035.
So I don't think there's anything to fear. I think it's to embrace the technology just like we embraced, the advent of computers computers in business?
UNLV's director of the hospitality lab, Robert Rippey, doesn't know when that time will come, but he's already preparing students to work alongside robots.
How quickly will the technology be ready?
It up 1,000 notches because they have robots that take your luggage to your room, robots that lead you around the hotel, and robots that can deliver room service. What's going on, friends? Rich DeMiro here, Rich on Tech. I'm here at the brand new Sheraton Los Angeles San Gabriel Hotel, and let me tell you, this place has some amazing technology. You've seen, by the way, this place is all brand new. So you've seen this, right? You know what these are. The luggage cart. Well, this pretty much steps it up 1,000 notches because they have robots that take your luggage to your room, robots that lead you around the hotel, and robots that can deliver room service. And maybe in the past you've seen those little room service robots that are kind of small. They might fit like a bottle of soda in there. No, these are amazing. You got to check them out. So the first robot here at the hotel is this. It's called a Wayfinder. So you literally, it's at the entrance to the hotel. You say where you want to go. Let's go to their new steakhouse. Can I take you there now? Yes. So this robot will lead me to the steakhouse. And you can see this is a pretty sizable robot. So it says, please stand clear 5 feet in front of me while I'm moving. So if someone was to get in front of this robot, it will definitely stop. Now here's the really cool part about this robot, because you're following it. Not only is it going to take you to the steakhouse, it's also, go over here since I know where this is, it's also going to open these doors wirelessly. So here we go. Let's see if it sends the signal to the doors. Look at that. So not only did it lead me to the steakhouse, thanks robot, now I can go right in. And place looks pretty good, so we'll have to check that out later. All right.
Fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, showcased its automated restaurant in Moscow. In an outlet nicknamed a Restaurant of the Future by KFC, any possible interactions between customers and staff are reduced to the bare minimum. After the food is cooked, a firm and precise robotic hand puts the order into the box, which can be opened by a code given to the customer. To pay for the food, one can use both bank cards or face biometric data after completing a registration process. KFC representative Dmitry Agiev said the company built the new outlet before the outbreak of coronavirus made its methods a hygienic way to order food.